Reach out and touch faith, your own personal Jesus. Someone to hear your prayers, someone who cares. Your own personal Jesus. Someone to hear your prayers, someone who's there. Feeling unknown and you're all alone, flesh and bone by the telephone. Lift up the receiver, I'll make you a believer. Take second best, put me to the test. Things on your chest you need to confess. I will deliver, you know I'm a forgiver. Reach out and touch faith, your own personal Jesus. Someone to hear your prayers, someone who cares. Your own personal Jesus. Someone to hear your prayers, someone who's there. Feeling unknown and you're all alone, flesh and bone by the telephone. Lift up the receiver, I'll make you a believer. I will deliver, you know I'm a forgiver. Reach out and touch faith, your own personal Jesus. Someone to hear your prayers, someone who cares. Reach out and touch faith. Welcome to another horrible, terrible, despicable, censored, bloody episode of the apocalypse. Congratulations, by the way, for choosing the apocalypse. That's what I'm here to tell you, the Rubes, specifically. For those of you who did not, I am here humbly and very strongly to guide you through it. The nightmare you see before you, which will become 1,000 times worse, unfortunately for us. But to the Rube, I am here to say, congratulations, you have chosen the apocalypse. And since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide. Your humble guide, Nicholas. So good to see you a bloody gay. It appears Donny went on another dementia rant about grass a-gay. Oh well. The Republic was good while it lasted, wasn't it? It's over now. It must have been love. But it's over now. Let us begin, because I'm fucking tired. Donnie's advocating for a criminal again. Tina Peters, you've probably heard of her. This is Donnie on his True Social Money Laundering, where he makes all his proclamations as Caesar of the dying United States. Free Tina Peters, a brave and innocent patriot who has been tortured by crooked Colorado politicians, including the big mail-in ballot supporting governor of the state. Let Tina Peters out of jail right now. She did nothing wrong except catching the Democrats cheat in the election. She is an old woman and very sick. If she is not released, I'm going to take harsh measures, says the Antichrist Caesar, the new Hitler, literally. That's not a joke. Otherwise, your own troops wouldn't have, be used against you right now. I wish it was a fucking joke. I wish this was just politics. I wish this was just commentary. I kind of look at it as my last final chance to even say anything. Ever. Not by my choice. So this woman was attempting to help Donnie cheat in the election. I forget exactly what she did. She was convicted. She's in prison. If you or I committed a crime and we were convicted, we'd go to fucking prison, right? Okay, she went to prison. And since Donnie's a convicted felon his every breath is crooked, he's always looking to help out an evil person like him. And fuck over, I don't know, the homeless. That's Donnie's shitbags. That's the Antichrist. And I wish he wasn't. I wish I was crazy. I wish everything you see before you was actually something. But it's not, because it will all go away. Unfortunately. And it'll be hard for all of us, because this is all we know. So again, opening the day up, Donnie's advocating for a convicted felon just like himself as he rounds up the homeless at Machine Gun Point in D.C. Cracker Barrel changed the logo. They took the guy and the barrel away and they just made, Cracker Barrel. I don't know why. Who cares? I thought Cracker Barrel was doing just fine. I don't see why they needed a logo change, but it's not going to change my life in any way, shape, or form, so I don't really give a fuck. But since it's on the internet, Mr. Newsom wrote a post in RubeSpeak regarding it. It seems like the MAGA people are mad they took the old guy and the barrel away. I don't know what the problem was or is now. Like, who gives a shit? What is wrong with Cracker Barrel? Keep your beautiful logo. The new one looks like cheap Velveeta cheese from Walmart. The place for groceries. An old-fashioned term. Fix it ASAP. Woke is dead. Thank you for your attention to this matter, GCN. Yes, these are the types of things Donnie posts on a regular basis. On a whole range of topics. A New York appeals court has thrown out Trump's massive civil fraud penalty. So Donnie is a convicted felon because of fraud in business. That's no surprise to anyone. There was a monetary penalty attached to that. It looks like that goes bye-bye now, or almost all of it goes bye-bye. Donnie's still technically a convicted felon. They left that part. Don't worry, that'll go away when they, whitewash history, which they're in progress of literally right now. I mean, hell, they've been banning books for like 10 years at least, if not longer. So even his convictions, everything bad about Donnie will go away. Don't worry. That's what they're literally doing before our eyes right now. And remember, one of the first things they did is Donnie changed the observances for the military and government agencies. Remember that? Like right after he got elected. Some of the observances no longer seen as appropriate. One is Holocaust remembrance. That didn't slip by me, son. I know a lot of people have forgotten about it. I never will. Because that told me exactly what this movement is. It told me what Donnie is yet again for, the 100th time as I try and look away and hope it's not true. This movement is a Nazi movement. This movement is of Satan, and he's the Antichrist. Just further proof. When he changed the observances. Go back, look it up. Early on in the term. One of the first things they did. There's a piece of scripture that talks about this person will change the feast days. Or the observances. Again, I don't know if that just applies to his government people that he's changing it for. Eventually, he'll probably change it for everyone. Look how much tradition and other things he's changed already. Not for the good either. So Donnie's penalty for his actual crimes goes away. Do they do that for you, son? If you got convicted of business fraud, they're going to just waive that financial penalty? No, they wouldn't. But for Donnie, who's up, he's a billionaire now, literally for the first time in his life, straight grifting off the presidency. So Donnie skates again. Court overturns Trump $500 million judgment but upholds fraud case. So Donnie skates again. Because they ain't putting the president in jail, so that's fucking meaningless. The money was the only real penalty. Let the billionaire, the grifting billionaire just slide. Fuck it. The homeless round them the fuck up. You heard me, soldier. Go round up the homeless. Sad you soldiers didn't put the guns down when you were asked to do that. That's a fucking shame. Do you want to see how ridiculous your Messiah is? We've seen the pictures of what if Joe Biden left the White House in orange face? What if Gavin Newsom left his house in orange face? Would that be acceptable, son? No, you'd call him a clown, right? Of course you would. That's why we call Donnie a clown. In case you're wondering. Because it looks ridiculous. It looks like orange face half the time. No one should be leaving their house like that. Donnie's been doing it for decades. One more time. Newsom in orange face. Does that make him cooler now? Does that make him more family values? That's why we talk shit. That's why people have been talking shit. It looks ridiculous, doesn't it? Of course it does. This is Kevin McCarthy. I guess Kevin's trying to make another stab at politics. He knows how forgetful the American public is. And he knows the right wing doesn't care, so. I lost my job because one person slept with an underage woman and I wasn't going to do something different when it came to the ethics committee. I'd do that exact same thing today. He only did it because they wanted to get rid of Gates, that's all. They already hated him, wanted to get rid of him. If it was one of his, like, chummy buddies, oh, he'd cover up for it all fucking day. But they had a problem with Gates. In even getting the speakership, remember, McCarthy got embarrassed. They had to do how many votes? 10 fucking votes, some bullshit. For him to finally get it. Because of Gates and Bobo and other people. So the establishment already wanted to get rid of Gates. And I don't blame them. Gates is a fucking monster. So McCarthy's straight up talking about Matt Gaetz here, like, you know, because Matt slept with an underage woman, you know, I had to lose my speakership. I wouldn't cover for him. But again, don't let McCarthy fool you. He's a spineless piece of shit. Again, if it was one of his, you know, solid Republican colleagues, he'd cover up for that all day. They just had an agenda with Gates. They wanted to get rid of him. And that doesn't make Gates a good person. My God, he's a fucking monster. So McCarthy, and this is what it looked like on CNN, him trying to make a stab. Finally got the position. He was out. How fast? I can't even remember. He wanted that position so bad. This is the lawyer. I've told you who the lawyer is. The Trump admin is going to start deporting random people to Uganda, potentially including people from South America and other countries with zero connection to Africa. Here we go again. We're going to send people to some hellhole that they're not from. And, you know, who cares, right? That's very Jesus-y now, right? Isn't that what MAGA says? This is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for Uganda statement concerning agreement on migration issues with the government of the United States. And I don't want to read the statement. The lawyer read it for us, and he gave you the breakdown. And the breakdown is, it appears we've made, or not we, the Reich has made an agreement with Uganda. Hey, will you take these bodies off our hands? We don't care if they live or die. And, you know, there again, imagine being shipped to a foreign country you do not speak the language. It's not the country you were born in. Like Uganda or some shit, or El Salvador. The fuck you gonna do, man? Evil. Very evil. And there will be a price to pay for it with the man. Everyone who's preaching that gospel, everyone who's the hand of it, the soldiers, the masked guys with machine guns, the guards and the jerks. Uganda. I told you the Reich is looking to send people of ethnic minority to any hell that will take them. I'm sorry, anyone who thinks that's right or fair or just, you're just lost, man. You're just lost. It's basically a death sentence. I know not many people care about that because it's not them on the bus or the plane or in the camp. You'll understand when you're there because some of you will end up there. The whole reason they're doing this to them is so they can do it to you. And again, this ain't the Obama years, and I ain't fucking Alex Jones, and I ain't Mike fucking Cernovich. I'm here because it's real this time. Otherwise, my ass would be sleeping, son. Trust me. Sad I even got to be here. This is a brilliant cartoon, and imagine sitting next to this madman, and that's basically what you would see. The piss yellow, horrid comb over, the stench of the fucking diaper, and this orange-faced clown looking at you. And this has been what Zelensky has experienced. This has been the theater we've been seeing for 6 months regarding Vlad, Ukraine, Zelensky, etc. It all boils down to this one picture, this one statement. That's why we've all had to go through this theater. That's why Ukrainians are in trenches with their fingers crossed, hoping Zelensky gets something from America to help them. Instead, Zelensky has to sit next to this fucking monster with a load of shit in his diaper, orange paint on his face. And this is the whole reason for it all. You ready? If you surrender, I get a peace prize. Exactly. That's why we've had to watch 2 meetings with Zelensky. One where they ambushed him with the couch fucker and a whole bunch. He started yelling at the fucking guy as if he's some enemy of ours or something. Vlad gets the red carpet rolled out for him just recently. All for one reason. This picture right here, this cartoon, it's a brilliant summation of every bit of theater regarding this Ukraine-Russia thing we've seen on television. This orange-faced fucking sociopath with a God complex, hoping Vlad and Zelensky will help him get his trophy. Because the black guy got it. Will this orange-faced monster getting his trophy do anything for your life, Rube? Absolutely fucking not. Will his ballroom do anything for your life except have you paying for it? Nope. You're a mark, folks, if you're still believing in this, believing they care about you. They never cared about you for a second. My God, the first term was horrific enough. If you surrender, I get a peace prize. Yep, every second of every minute, everything that happened, that's why it all happened. Meanwhile, Ukrainians died fighting for their country. This is Donnie talking about the redistricting. And basically saying, you know, we got a big win in Texas. I'm not going to read the whole thing. What's the fucking point? I'll read the highlighted at the bottom. And the crooked game of politics is over. Donnie talks about mail-in voting, strong Second Amendment, stop mail-in voting, the same old spiel we've heard for 10 years with this motherfucker. He'll vote by mail, but when it comes time for another election, he knows right-wing geriatrics like to go the day of. So the Republican candidate gets a strong showing the day of. Then the rest of the votes come in and get tallied. Then usually the Republican loses. Because their policy is tax cuts for the rich, contracts for tech bros and the military, and fuck everybody else. Oh, and a nice, dash of racism. Not a dash, a chunk. That's it. That's all. That's their policy. That's what they got. That's why they can't really win elections anymore for president. Donnie couldn't even win the popular vote against Hillary Clinton, as despised as she is by so many of you out there, because you heard it on right-wing podcast land for 20 fucking years. So sad. That's all it took. Donnie's letting us know over and over again, the mail-ins are going to go away. And it doesn't really matter. They're going to manipulate any results that come out. They're going to rig everything, cheat. That's all Donnie ever does. He staged a fucking coup last time. We can't trust anything with this Reich right now. This is amazing. This is the whole reason I did this video tonight. This is a picture. Let me brighten it up for you. This is a fascinating way to put it, too. Picture of the ghost of Epstein over Donnie's shoulder. And what does it say? As Donnie's kneeling in prayer, he died for his sins. I was like, you know what? That's a damn good point. Epstein died for Donnie's sins. Literally. Not because he wanted to, but he did anyway. So what is Epstein for Donnie? In effect, it kind of all hit me as I looked at it. The phrase personal Jesus came to mind. Jeff Epstein is Donnie's personal Jesus, died for his sins. Literally. Donnie's own personal Jesus. Fascinating way to look at it, or you could look at it as Epstein was a sacrifice for the glory of Donnie, so it could continue. Jesus was a sacrifice as well. So same thing. Not that I'm equating Epstein to Jesus. By no means. But for Donnie specifically. Because we all know why he died. We know the reason. And we know who was behind it. So, literally, Jeff Epstein is Donnie's personal Jesus. Crazy, isn't it? And this is Anonymous that posted this. I don't know if they made this meme or not. Here's Donnie talking about the war again. He always blames Joe Biden for Putin attacking Ukraine. I don't know why. It's very hard, if not impossible, to win a war without attacking an invader's country. It's like a great team in sports that has a fantastic defense, but is not allowed to play offense. There is no chance of winning. It is like that with Ukraine and Russia. Crooked and grossly incompetent Joe Biden would not let Ukraine fight back, only defend. How did that work out? Regardless, this is a war that would have never happened if I were president. Zero chance. Interesting times ahead, president. Again, he said this before the election. The war would not happen if he's president. He's been president for 7 months? Several meetings with Vlad, even on our own fucking soil. Got the red carpet rolled out for the dictator. And made no progress. So yes, while Donnie's president, Vlad has continued to attack relentlessly, as if Donnie doesn't fucking exist. In fact, he's over-attacked just to make a point with Donnie and with all of us about who's in charge, who's the dog, who's the master. And it's quite clear who's who in the relationship. And Joe Biden has no responsibility, and Joe was giving Ukraine package after package until Donnie instructed Congress from outside the White House at his fucking golf course to not give Ukraine any more money. Then Ukraine did not get help for at least 6 months. I remember the months going by. And I'm thinking to myself, how are these people making it without the aid? It's war. You need bullets. You need you need all kinds of shit. Constant supplies. 6 months, nothing. That was literally because of Donnie shitbags. And Mike Johnson, of course. They made that happen. Donnie campaigned on it. That was the lead up to the campaign. Him telling Ukraine, or him telling Congress straight up, it wasn't a secret. Nothing passes for Ukraine. Ukrainians died because of that. So how dare he now say Joe wasn't helping, Joe didn't want to help? It's a fine line, though, between straight up war between Russia and the United States. That's the line Joe Biden was walking. That's the line any world leader would have to walk. We could give Ukraine a bunch of nuclear missiles. You know what's going to happen right after we do that? Vlad's going to shoot his off. And then the whole globe is fucked. No matter whose country blows up first. That's the fine line you got to walk. It's not easy. I wouldn't want to be in that position. Then you can make the argument, well, the U.S. could join the Ukrainians and fight the Russians. Okay, well, that's World War III, most likely Armageddon. Is that what you're looking for? So there's a line that must be walked, as disgusting as it is, as hard as it is. But how dare Donnie literally was instrumental in Ukraine not getting help for months and months, and he did it on purpose. So how dare he critique Joe? So what's Donnie saying? He's going to let Ukraine attack wherever they want in Russia now? Using American weapons? I highly fucking doubt that. In fact, I more than doubt it. I'd bet my life on it. He's not going to tell Ukraine, okay, hit Moscow. I don't give a fuck. Here's some long-range missiles. Go for it. Hit the button. Nope. Never will happen. Unless Donnie's deciding to snap the leash, which he could do any minute. I don't know why he's still staying subservient. He's got the most powerful weapon on earth, the U.S. military. He could tell Vlad to fuck off. I don't want to be your bitch anymore. He's not doing it for some reason. I have a feeling he will in the future. So I don't know what he's trying to say, unless he's going to tomorrow make an announcement that, we're going to give Ukraine a bunch of long-range missiles and planes and jets and all this. And they can attack and hit anything in Russia, and they have our blessing, and they can use our weapons to do that. Never gonna happen. Ever. So I don't even know why he wrote this. I guess just for, rube fodder. I don't know. Trump says he has now ended 10 wars because he actually ended 3 more that he didn't even know about in addition to his previous 7. This was an audio for Todd Starnes' show. I don't know the fuck that is. So Donnie added 3 more. So the fish story, the fish itself, is getting bigger regarding how many conflicts Donnie has solved personally. 10 today. Tomorrow maybe 12 or 17. You never know. Why? Because Donnie's a compulsive fucking liar. That's why. But you already know this. And you're cool with it or not cool with it, depending on who you are. Not a secret. Here's Donnie talking shit on NBC. We haven't heard these before a million times, right? All in caps. Again, sociopath. He couldn't help himself. Even though Gavin's making fun of him every day, he still can't help himself. MSNBC is doing so poorly in the ratings that they are looking to change their name in order to get away from the stench of their fake news product. So much fun to watch their weak and ineffective owner, Comcast, that's in quotes, headed by dopey Brian Roberts, hopelessly and aimlessly flailing in the wind in an attempt to dissociate itself from the garbage that they created. MSNBC is a failure by any name, with 4 exclamation points. Because the all caps wasn't enough. I don't even know what to say about that. Again, demonization of the press for the 6 zillionth time. He's quite normalized that. We just accept it. This is Jim Acosta. Spotted growing number of National Guard troops staging in front of National Museum of African American History and Culture and other spots on the mall today. There are rarely ever any crime issues here. Perhaps that's because Donnie and the Reich are about to remove exhibits regarding African Americans. Therefore, they anticipate protests at that location. Therefore, let's get the military there in advance. Because only Reich-approved exhibits will be displayed. And that's the end of America. Those are the troops. And again, Donnie's about to fuck with all the museums. Remember, Donnie's rewriting history just like Hitler rewrote history. The Reich can do no wrong. It's a white nationalist movement, so that means white people can do no wrong, according to the Reich. That's the history they will write. They will make slavery a non-issue. They will make the slaughter of the Native Americans a non-issue. They will make the civil rights fight disappear. And they'd love to go back to straight up slavery, but, you know. They're just doing it another way. We'll arrest enough people. We'll work them like Hitler worked his prisoners. Until they fall out, starve to death, whatever. And that's our free workforce. Donnie again on an audio recording. I'm going to be going out tonight in D.C., I think with the police and with the military, of course. Well, we know you wouldn't be going out by yourself. So Donnie, tonight, maybe a few hours ago, Donnie may have gone out, took a stroll through D.C. in the Beast or whatever, with his Gestapo, with his military, elite. And I could picture Donnie and the Beast and like seeing a couple homeless people, maybe sleeping on the sidewalk or something, and rolling down the window and pointing at them, and then the troops would go round them up. I can totally see that. That's America now. That's not an exaggeration, son. Yes, Donnie's going to go out and enjoy the military takeover of the United States, starting with D.C. and L.A. Nothing screams public safety like having the guy who hung out with Jeffrey Epstein roaming the streets at night. Right, Donnie's a convicted felon. Can we round him up? Donnie's Jeff Epstein's best friend when he was alive. And he's going to be roaming the streets of D.C. Sounds dangerous to me. Sounds like the military may want to take a look at that. This is a meme someone made. A homeless person sleeping on a bench. So sleeping while homeless is a crime, but trying to overthrow democracy while president isn't. Well, in America, yes. Yep. Simple answer. That homeless person wasn't there on J6 trying to kill congressmen. And that homeless person didn't incite it either, like Donnie did. Donnie did some press thing late in the day, and here's what it looked like. And they showed it on Fox. And he made a bunch of, again, strange statements. In a bizarre moment, Trump rants about grass and D.C. parks. I know more about grass than any human being. Grass has a life. We have a life. And grass has a life. The grass here died about 40 years ago. Donnie doesn't like the grass in D.C. I guess he's going to replace it. Remember, Donnie said he's going to bring in the finest grasses. Again, how's your mortgage doing? Your car payment, your rent, your savings, you good? Employment going okay? Getting enough hours? Getting benefits? Be nice if Donnie cared about any of those problems, wouldn't it? Holy fuck, we're doomed. This cunt's talking about grass in D.C. for 3 weeks. If you think he gives a fuck about any human being in this country, you're delusional. He's building a $200 million ballroom as rent is, again, $1,800 for a 1-bedroom, and that's on the low end. Pretty incredible. Talking about the grass in D.C. because Donnie's more interested in, making his little kingdom look nice. All that shitty gold Home Depot trim and shit. Wherever the fuck they got that That you paid for, by the way. No, he's just trying to make the place look nice. All these actions he's taking on, it sounds like a guy that's moving in who's planning on staying a while. And by a while, I mean more than 4 years. But again, we already know this. Everyone does. We watched the coup last time. You were either cool with it or you weren't. You know who you are. Donnie, again, same event. I'm very good at grass because I have a lot of golf courses all over the place. I know more about grass than any human being. I think anyone in the world. You know, like everything else, grass has a life. Do you know that? Grass has a life. You know, we have a life and grass has a life. Ooh. Donnie again decides to tell the $17 trillion lie. We're respected again. We had a country that was laughed at a year ago. We had a country that was a dead country. We went to Saudi Arabia, came back with 17 trillion. A lot you don't know. A lot of you don't know what that means. Nobody knows. 17 trillion. That number is not even close to real, son. I hope you understand that. That is an astronomical amount of money. No, Donnie did not secure 17 trillion. Again, the fish story. It keeps getting bigger. My God. This meme, I've seen this meme a million times done different ways. There's usually a couple walking and one of them is looking back at something that entices them, something that catches their eye. And the other side of the couple that isn't looking back is looking at the person looking back like, what the fuck you looking at? So they did it with the Statue of Liberty, Donnie and Gavin Newsom, and it's just perfect. It's amazing. So Gavin walks by the Statue of Liberty, sees something it likes. Democracy. Not a tyrant. Not a guy in orange face. Not a guy in a diaper full of shit that wants to grift every penny that ain't nailed down and enslave people and put people in camps. And Donnie looks at the statue like, hey, what the fuck you looking at? What about me? Brilliant. Best use of the meme I've ever fucking seen. Again, Donnie at the event. Again, if you forgot what it looks like, take a quick look so you get the vibe. Isn't Donnie beautiful? Trump claims people have been calling to thank him for deploying the National Guard in D.C. So he told this lie again as well. People calling him up. Thank you for the military takeover of D.C. You know, things are so much better now. One said they'd gone out to a restaurant 4 nights in a row after not going out in 4 years. You know, using the 2 4s, that makes the lie easier, rolls off the tongue easier. Using the same number twice. Something a child does. But restaurant reservations in D.C. are down 31% in recent days. That's the commenter saying that. And yeah. Again, you deploy men with machine guns out on your streets. Picture it, Rubes. When you go to the local bowling alley, whatever. Picture men with machine guns and fatigues standing all over the place. How are you going to buy your meth and shit? How you going to fucking, cook up your moonshine? Because, I see the crime statistics out in the sticks, man, and they don't look good. So let's not pretend that type shit ain't going on. Not that it isn't going on in the city, my God. Down 31%, the businesses in D.C. simply because of Donnie's literal military takeover of the Capitol of our fucking country. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but I am. Thanks to rubery and greed at the top, baby, it's all over. And, it's sad Donnie's standing there lying right to all of us about how so many people are saying, thank you for doing a military takeover martial law in D.C. Things are so much better. We love seeing our own military that we pay for on the streets policing us. We were so looking forward to that in America. No one's saying that. And the numbers speak for themselves, no matter what the liar in orange face says. Canada measles cases passed 4,500, highest count in the Americas. So the measles thing did not go away. I just like to keep track of the numbers and remind myself that the shit's still out there. That's why I'm reading it to you. So Canada still has almost 5,000 fucking cases. And we're at the end. Big news out of Florida tonight. An environmental challenge has brought the use of the Everglades detention camp to a halt. Judge blocks transfer of new detainees to Alligator Auschwitz. Sets in motion 60-day wind down of immigration prison at Everglades Airport. Now, this will get overturned. They ain't taking Donnie and Meatball's toy away from them. That's not going to happen. It's nice that a judge is going to try. Or at least pretend to try. No, that camp won't be shut down unless Meatball wants it shut down for some reason. Maybe it costs too much. Who knows? But, so I don't really celebrate this as a victory. Donnie will get it overturned with one of his judges or the Supreme Court. That camp will not go away. If it's shut down for more than a week and they don't add new people, I'll be surprised. Or they'll just ignore the order. Again, so that's your concentration camp update for this evening. In case you were wondering. If you're wondering as well, if you're living in a dystopia, yes, you are. Why? Because I just gave you a concentration camp update. That's why. And again, in your dystopia, the one you have the unfortunate, fortune to be born in, dying America. They give cute and funny names to the concentration camps, like Alligator Alcatraz or the Speedway. So I'm sorry, son. I'm here to tell you. Again, the empire's over. It's never coming back. We're watching it slip more and more away. There are troops on your streets that you pay for. There are concentration camps that you are paying for in El Salvador and here. One camp you never leave, ever. There's more being built here. Donnie wants to reopen Alcatraz. There's men with massive machine guns kidnapping people that cannot be questioned or identified. No accountability whatsoever. We're about to annex territory as well. And again, it's 2025. We like to think we're all enlightened and how, sophisticated what a sophisticated point we've gotten to. Meanwhile, we might as well all be back in 1933 Germany watching it all unfold. Except with better technology. And this time it's going to go all the way, where a real image that can go forth and speak for someone will be created. Probably already has been. And that will affect your life, son. They will expect you to respect that image, even worship it. Also, a mark will be offered, and I guarantee a pledge of loyalty, a pledge of some sort, will go along. Where you abandon what you believe for what they want you to believe. You are irredeemable after that point. You need to know that. So when that time comes, you must say no, no matter what it costs you. That sounds illogical, I know. Does anything you see before you look logical? Very hard thing to ask of people. And I ain't the one doing the asking. I understand how illogical it sounds, and, why would I do that? Because if you don't do that, it will cost you much more than you can handle. For all time. That's why. So as always, my final message, when the mark comes, you must say no. Now I've got to go. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and as always, if you'd like to help out, PayPal at the top of the comments section when this uploads in 37 hours. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. I'm sorry your empire's over. I didn't want it to be this way. Others chose it. And until the next episode, I hope you have a wonderful night.